Hey guys, how you doing? Hey. Give me one sec. Yeah. So, I really wasn't planning on doing a second stream today, even though the first one turned into two because I was a dumbass and I clicked finish when I didn't mean to. But anyway, we're back on again. So say hey if you're there. Let me know you're there. Alright, so if you might have just seen my post, I have just been asked by a good friend of mine to do a speaking gig, right? So I'm going to actually go to his workshop and come in as a guest speaker to talk about some things. And if you've listened to me for like even a few things, you'd probably realize that speaking is kind of my thing. It's kind of my obsession. It's kind of what you might not know is that my goals in terms of my speaking and in terms of what I do are huge, right? So this goes well beyond, streaming on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. For me, it's way bigger than that. And I'm not scared and I'm not ashamed to say that that's, where I'm heading is I want to pack out massive auditoriums. I want to speak in front of thousands of people, all that kind of stuff, like even bigger than that. I don't know yet. I guess I haven't really, it's kind of step by step. And I do believe in kind of making your goals as something that you can see yourself doing in the moment rather than making these huge outlandish goals that you can't really personally attach to. And this is exactly what I wanted to talk about. So why it took me so fucking long to get here, and also why actually it only took me a couple of months. So I have been writing this into my reality for years. But I mean by writing it, I actually didn't do a hell of a lot of work. So I thought about it and I thought about how much I wanted it, but I didn't actually do much to follow through with it and make it happen. And more to the point, I wasn't consistent with it, right? So I'd like once in a while I would journal, and by once in a while I mean maybe once a week or something really crappy like that. And then I'd kind of wonder why I'm not getting any traction, why I'm not getting anything happening, why it's just not magically happening. And so it's literally been the past, not a couple of months, but a little bit longer than that I've been so consistent, so focused, so literally just 100% in, do this or die, basically. It doesn't matter, nothing else matters sort of attitude. And it's only taken a really friggin' short amount of time compared to the grand scheme of things to get here. And so this is absolutely huge. This is something I'm so excited about because this is all I want. This is all I want is to, well, not all I want, but it's definitely the biggest part of what I want is just to be able to connect with people, to inspire people, to communicate and engage and just use my voice and use the way that I speak and the way that I influence to get through to people, right? Because as much as I love, I love writing and I love all that kind of stuff. I love the programs, absolutely. A lot of them are based on my speaking. That's my thing, right? And actually, speaking of which, you are going to be the first one to hear about this. So I've actually got a new free product coming out for you guys, like a freebie, I guess we'll call it. So towards the end of last year, I did a webinar on the mindset for fat loss, and it was amazing. Like the people that registered for that absolutely loved it. They got so much out of it. And it's taken me this long to actually manage to get the video so I can save the actual video of the webinar and upload it somewhere where I can send it out to everyone. So I've just done that. So within the next couple of days, I will be putting that up. So make sure you jump on that because that was a really, really impressive webinar. So the reason I got off onto this tangent because that was me speaking like literally like we are now. So I basically did it as a live stream. I've got to be really careful I don't press finish again. Why do they put it in the bottom right hand corner, which is like exactly where I want to hold my hand, and then I'm just going to press finish because I don't mean to. And my phone's really hot. I hope it doesn't overheat. Anyway, so so this webinar, I've now finally managed to convert it into a video, so I can offer that to you guys for a freebie so you can all go back and watch it. It was just spectacular. It was just one of those things where I was just on that night, like I'm on most days, let's face it, but I was like really, really, really on, where it was just everything was making sense, everything was flowing, everything was just point to point. I was actually structured. That was a bit, I guess, of a difference. There's a lot of my live streams, especially like this one, are not actually structured. I kind of just go with whatever happens at the time. But that one was actually structured, so there was actual content that I already knew I was going to go through. It was incredible, basically. So that will be up for you guys to grab very, very shortly. So I'm excited about that. But that's it. Like, that's exactly where I know I'm meant to be. I'm meant to be speaking. I'm meant to be communicating with people. I'm meant to be on a huge stage talking to people. That is exactly where I'm heading. And today, that first sort of step, like this is what I mean by, like, I can't believe I took this fucking long to get here, because I could have made it so much faster. Because literally, since I committed to this, since I committed to me as well, and to like really following through with being consistent, and really following through with just showing up and doing what I do over and over in just the past few months, that's all it's taken to get here. And that's just going to grow from there. Like I've already done a workshop this month. I'm going to obviously be doing another one now, where I've actually been asked to come and do like a guest speaking role. Next month I've got another workshop that I'm doing, and it's just, this is literally everything that I've written, and I do my, as in written, like I've got my diary here, right? So I journal every single day. I write in every single day. Let me get rid of that. About what I'm doing and what I want, and more to the point, what I already have. So it's not about putting in down a bunch of goals and things. It's about actually writing it in as if it's already happened, so that you can step into the person that's required to make those things happen. So I've got a secret for you. So this is kind of important. Like really, really, really important. So if you haven't got a pen, I would actually grab a pen for this, because yeah. When I found this out, it was like a revelation, and I was really pissed that nobody told me this earlier. Like really pissed. So, have you got your pen? Are you ready for this? Okay. Have you heard of The Secret? Yes, probably. Yeah, I dare say. Most people have, right? So this was a book, and then like a movie and all this kind of stuff that came out a bunch of years ago, and it became really, really insanely popular with its information, which was, I believe, summed down to ask, believe, receive. I thought that was just amazing. I was in love with it. I was all over it. I was asking, believing, and receiving all over the place, and things weren't happening, right? And it wasn't until quite a while later, I'm going to sit up a little bit more, that I discovered there is a secret missing link that they didn't tell you about, and that is take massive action. Take massive action over and over and over. You can sit there and ask and believe and receive all you want, but until you're actually acting like the person who's going to receive all of this stuff, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Like, I'm sorry, but it really, and this is one of the things that really pissed me off, because I've been there, I've been guilty of this, and so now it really just pisses me off more and more that people do this, where they just kind of get into this entitled state of, well, because I've asked for it, because I've believed it, it should be happening. I'm just going to sit here, I'm just going to wait, I'm going to ask, and I'm going to believe, and it's just going to come to me. Yeah, cool, it might. I'm sure it's worked for some people out there, but for the most part, it doesn't work that way. You need to actually, in order to truly believe in what you've just asked for, you would be acting as the person who gets it. You would not be sitting there on your ass waiting for it to happen and waiting for it to come to you so you can receive. You would be making sure you receive it by getting off your ass and doing the work, whatever the work is. It doesn't matter if you don't know what it is yet. It doesn't matter if you don't know how you're going to get to whatever your goal is. You just got to go and start acting like that person who is actually wanting that goal. Because it sure as hell isn't going to happen overnight. It sure as hell isn't going to happen because you've decided that, well, I'm just going to wait until I get this thing that I want, and then I'm going to start being this person. No. You start being the person who has it, and then it will become yours. Sorry, honey. That's just the reality of it, especially if you're finding that you've been asking and believing all over the place for years and you have not yet received. Might be something to think about. Yeah? So that's, that was a big revelation for me, that there is more to the story than just that. So if you didn't know that before, make sure that you actually pay attention to that, because that was a huge reveal for me that I did not see coming, and that I had wasted so much time because I hadn't thought it through. Okay. And so what I mean by now, how quickly it's taken me to get to a place now in the past few months where I am going to be, I have been asked to go and speak at someone's event, and it's just going to go up from there. I know that this is going to be the year that it escalates in a huge way, is because I've written into my reality. I've written into my journal, I've written into my mind, I've written into my speaking. I'm telling you guys straight out that this is just what's going to happen, and there's just no other way around it. This is exactly what I am asking, believing, receiving, and doing. So therefore, it's a given. It's done. It's done. It's done. Right? What was I going to say? There was one more thing I wanted to add. It's done. Ask and believe, receive. What was it? Oh, right. Yes. Feeling. Cool. So the other thing that I didn't used to realize as well is you have to, whatever you're asking for, whatever you're writing into your reality, whether it's journaling, whether you draw, whether you write, whether you speak, whatever it is, you have to feel it. You absolutely have to feel it. You cannot just go and make up your set of affirmations or set of goals and just repeat, write them out over and over and over as many times as you can. It's not homework. It's not detention. You're not trying to punish yourself into your goals, right? So stop just going through the motions and just doing things over and over and over. When you actually want something to happen, you've got to feel it. And I'm going to be honest with you, I've done this myself. I am so guilty of this myself in the past, that I just thought, okay, well, affirmations are meant to be these things where I write them down and I focus on them and I write them again and again and again until they come into reality. But unfortunately, whenever you write these things, they just kind of become boring to you. You're just rewriting the same shit over and over. And even if it's really something that you do want, like I wrote down, I want to be hired for speaking gigs all the time. I want to speak in front of hundreds, in front of thousands, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, great. But over time, the more I wrote it, it becomes boring, not the goal, but the writing of it, and it becomes rote, and it becomes just a part of something that you're saying, but you're not feeling it. If there's no connection, if there's no soul level connection to it, if there's no actual change in your biochemistry, in your physiology from getting the idea of this goal happening, if there's nothing like that going on, the goal itself isn't going to mean anything, and therefore you're not going to actually receive it because you've stopped asking and believing. All you've done is just repeated yourself. That's all you've done. You have to ask, as in you have to still want it. You have to feel that want. You have to believe. In other words, you still have to have those feelings attached to it. You still have to be so invested in it that you believe in it in order to receive it. Otherwise, like I said, you just repeat. You're not really asking because you're not invested in it. You're not really believing because you're just doing it out of repetition, not out of faith. And it's just not going to get you there. It's just not going to get you there. You have to feel it. You have to do it over and over. And so the stuff that I write now, the stuff that I journal, the stuff that I speak right now, speaking to you, all of this stuff, it is just over and over and over what I feel. It's not me repeating myself. It's not me reading back my journal. It's not me repeating everything that I've ever put into it. It's me calling it in every single day. And if it feels different on a particular day, it feels different. But I call it in every single day in some way that resonates with me, that therefore is resonating with the universe. My energy impacts the energy that comes back to me. So if your life's boring, if nothing's happening, it's because you're boring and you're not happening. Sorry, that is as simple as it gets. And I know it shits a lot of people to say, oh, you've impacted everyone, you've brought everyone into your life for a reason, this is all your fault, this is all your responsibility. But strangely enough, it's actually quite liberating, because as soon as you take responsibility for that, you can take responsibility for making it better, which means you have the power to make it better at any moment you want, just like that. Anyway, I'm going to finish up there because I've actually got some other stuff to do and I wasn't intending to do this live stream this afternoon, but it happened because something awesome happened and I wanted to get on live and actually talk to you guys about it and let you know how excited I am and how excited I am to impact and influence and reach out to you even more so throughout this year as I do. Like I said, this whole speaking thing is just going to explode coming this year. So I cannot wait. I'm sure that if we haven't met already, we're probably going to meet at some events in the future very shortly. All right. Keep tuned for that webinar that I'm going to send you the replay. Right, so I'm going to make that available so you can sign up. If you're not on my email list already, you really need to get on that because that's where all the good stuff is. And also that's where you hear about things first. So all my email list people will be getting this link and getting the information to get this webinar replay available now. And, in the next couple of days. Sorry, not now. And otherwise, make sure you do get onto my email list. If you head on to just www.anabrooks.com.au, you can sign up. I've got a couple of free courses on there that make it really easy to sign onto the email list, right? So if you're into wanting to know a bit more about crushing cravings, for example, so I do a lot of obviously fitness and health and fat loss type stuff. So I've got an awesome freebie on there, report on the 7 things you don't know about crushing cravings. So you get that report, plus you get onto my email list. So again, you get to get this stuff first and foremost. Or if you head to the top of the page, you'll see a little link on there as well, which is for the 7-day Game Changer e-course that I created. And that is incredible. I would really recommend you grab that if you haven't already. And if it's something you enjoy, because it's literally 7 days to just flip your life upside down and just change everything. Like a week is a long time when you focus on it. And this absolutely just gets in there and gets deep. So if you haven't got that yet, go grab it, just on my head at the top of the www.anabrooks.com.au. And if you enjoy that, I would really suggest you check out the paid program for next week, starting next Wednesday, 18th of January. We've got the 21-day mind, body and soul detox starting, which if you like that feel of that 7-day Game Changer e-course, then you're going to love this, because this is more than just your mindset stuff. This is literally like hacking your body, hacking your fat loss, hacking your relationships, your career, everything. Like there's going to be daily emails for you to do so that after 21 days, you are going to feel like a whole new person. It's going to be awesome. I've done a lot of the planning already for the program, and you're just going to be blown away with how big of an impact 21 days can make. But go check out that 7-day one first, because once you've got that, you'll really get a feel for what it's like. And that's free. And then I'll pop the link also for the 21-day detox if you want to jump onto that. You've still got a few days left. We don't start till Wednesday next week, but make sure get onto there as soon as possible so you get the intro email and you get the information for the pre-start kind of information, right? All right, I will leave it there and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.